Hey everybody, my name is Eleanor Starling, and today I'm going to be presenting my informative speech for COM 231. This speech is going to be about the ethical dilemma of animal testing. This is a topic that has been disputed very heavily for the past 100 years, but more specifically in the last decade. My goal for this speech is for everybody to be able to create their own judgment and opinion on this argument and to see where the chips may fall. Okay, so a lot of people may know this, and it may not come to a shock to you that 67% of households in the United States of America own a household pet. This can range from a dog, a cat, or even an iguana, but 67% of households do own a pet. That is because there are some major animal lovers here in the United States and across the world. That might not surprise you very much, but something that is very alarming and surprising is that 26 million animals are used every year for scientific and commercial testing. This was a statistic brought out by author Banu Prasad, who wrote an article reviewing animal testing specifically in the United States of America. Just to give you a little bit of background information on me, my name is Eleanor. Like I said, everybody calls me Ellie, and I grew up loving animals. I have always been an animal lover. I've had dogs, I've had cats, I've had rabbits, I've had a horse. Animals have always played a very big part of my life growing up in my childhood. And for that, even today, I'm a very big animal lover. I have a 6-month-old chocolate lab who is a ball of energy, and I wouldn't trade him for the world. Um, with that being said, animal testing is not something that I view negatively. It is something that I feel very indebted to because without our animal testing that have been previously done in the past, we wouldn't be able to have the medical treatments and the medicines and stuff like that that are available to us in this day and age. But with that also being said, I feel like in the last 10 years specifically, the ethical treatment of animal welfare has really downgraded. And that is something that I feel like the nation needs to be retrained upon. That is just my personal opinion. But I do want to start that off by saying I do not view animal testing in a negative manner. Background information. This has always been a controversial topic. I feel like you're either all for animal testing or you're totally against it. There are even activists for PETA, and there are even other people that write articles and stuff like Daniel Cressy who say that the activists have created a negative effect for animal testing and the welfare of the human race and their well-being. So the arguments are very, very wide in range. Like I said before, this has been disputed for decades. A lot of people want to believe that their opinion is better than the other, and I just want to bring more knowledge to the topic. I think both sides are very persuasive. The safety for animals and for the human race are the utmost importance of this speech. I feel like it is our ethical responsibility to not only look out for ourselves as a species, but also care for the other species that roam the earth. I think the people that view animal testing in a negative light are the people that believe that the animal testing results are not even applicable to the human anatomy, and they feel that because of that, animal testing is very unnecessary. It doesn't also help the fact that there are plenty of alternative methods out there. PETA wrote an article about the in vitro methods that were shared probably around 2018, I believe. They've also said that they have came out with human simulators that are a little bit more adequate in reading results based off the human anatomy. And then they even have human volunteers that say, hey, instead of testing on animals, test on me. On that other flip side of the coin, the question still remains, are those results adequate? Is a human simulator really comparable to testing on a physical animal that has a heart, that has lungs, that have these internal organs like we do? So it is something that is definitely up for discussion. I feel like the people that are all for animal testing, I think the medical light is really what shines here. Advances in medicine, knowledge for surgeries, medical treatments, buying just a regular bottle of nail polish off your Walmart shelf and not having a question, is it safe to put that on my 5-year-old? Because it has been tested. it has been FDA approved. So I feel like those are always in the forefront for the people that are really pro animal testing. And I feel like that is why they believe it's ethically right, because at the end of the day, it's just ensuring our safety as the human race. You know, like I mentioned before, Daniel Cressy always said activists really have evaded the potential continuation of animal testing, and that could eventually and potentially harm our well being. I feel like the biggest focus here is safety. Safety for the human race, safety for the animals. I feel like regulations should be mandated and also actively trained upon in the United States of America. It's not something that I feel like the animal welfare is being regulated very heavily in laboratories and factories across the nation, and I feel like that is something that definitely needs to change. Like I said, I don't view animal testing negatively. I just feel like it does need to be more ethically approached. I feel like, you know, that whole thing that was on the news about Fairlife milk and the way that the cattle were treated, those videos that came out on the internet were very hard to watch. If you have not seen that yet, if you have a strong stomach, I suggest you look that up. It really shines a light on the animal welfare that is approached to animal testing and animal use here in the United States. I feel like no matter which way you go, there's going to be a difference in opinions here, but the biggest thing is to have knowledge. I feel like once you're informed about this specific subject, I feel like your opinion can morph and change in a lot of different ways. I feel like having an ethical approach is the most vital thing. I feel like not being able to use, like for Peter Singer, he expressed in his book on animal testing, speciesism is real. The human race sometimes feels like we can do whatever we want because we're the top of the food chain. We are the almighty species here on Earth. And you know what? We are very, very fortunate to be that, but we also need to look out for every life. Every single life on this earth is important and does have a priority here. So I feel like the social dilemma of how every life is important is a choice that needs to be made every single day. And animal welfare and animal testing is something that definitely needs to rotate and revolve around that. I hope you guys enjoyed this informative speech, and I hope that it shed a little bit more light on the subject for you. Thanks.